Bonjour et bienvenue sur le site champagnejayne.com. G'day and welcome to another edition of Champagne Jayne TV. Today we're here to talk about the oldest champagne house in the world. We are of course talking about Ruinart, founded in 1729, interestingly by the nephew of Dom Ruinart, who was an exact contemporary of Dom Perignon. Now Ruinart wines are known to be full and generous in flavour, with low dosage and great reserve wine components. Their champagnes have often been described as having the power and body of a Pinot in a Chardonnay. Please enjoy this tasting with their gorgeous young winemaker, Amélie Violet. Cheers!
Bonjour, bienvenue à la Maison Ruinart. It's a real pleasure for me today to welcome Champagne Jayne. I'm Amélie, I'm part of the winemaking team, and today I'm going to lead you through a wine tasting, and we're going to start with our Air de Ruinart, which is one of our non-vintage cuvee. So this is a blend. We have 47% of Chardonnay, which is a huge percentage for a non-vintage wine, a blend wine, and 57% of Pinot Noir and a little bit of Pinot Meunier. So let's try this wine. It is known as a very elegant wine, actually. We source our grapes from everywhere in Champagne, and this is a wine which is characterized by very beautiful yellow fruit, like plum. You have also some white fruit, like pear and apple, and very nice and very sweet aromas of fresh bread. And the palate, this is a very nice wine, very easy to drink, and you have a little bit of structure, but not so much. You have all the roundness of Chardonnay, and we can say that it's a very elegant wine, nice to drink during a meal. It can be, you can drink it with a dessert, but also a dish like everything, some exotic food or more traditional French food, for example, a veal, potatoes or cakes. Now let's taste our Blanc de Blanc non-vintage wine. This is our flagship cuvee. You know that since 1729 Ruinart has been in love with Chardonnay grapes, so this is really our favorite wine because we use 100% of Chardonnay for this wine. You can see this is a very elegant pale color. For this one, we use mainly some Premier Cru Chardonnay from Côte des Blancs, the northern side of the Montagne de Reims, and from Cézanne. This wine has very beautiful aromas of citrus, a lot of citrus. We have lime, lemon, orange, grapefruit. You have also some white flowers like jasmine and acacia, and some fresh spices as well, like ginger, for example. That's why this wine is perfect with sushi. On the palate, you have a perfect balance between roundness and freshness, and this is all due to Chardonnay. To conclude about this wine, you have a very nice example of what is a 100% Chardonnay wine, but this is not only a Chardonnay wine, it's also the vision of this grape by Ruinart, because sometimes a wine only based on Chardonnay could be a little bit stern, mineral, and it's not the side of these grapes that Ruinart want to express. We want to express all the freshness and the elegance of these grapes, and I think we managed to do that through this wine. Okay, so now let's discover our prestige cuvée, Dom Ruinart Blanc de Blanc 98. So this is also a Blanc de Blanc, like the previous one, but this is a very different wine, because there is 3 reasons. We are going to discover 3 different aspects. The first one is, like the previous one, it is entirely based on Chardonnay. So we're going to study another aspect of these grapes. The other wine, and we are going to see what is a vintage wine. We're going to discover the 98 vintage. And the third field we're going to study right now is the freedom of the chef de cave, the cellar master, because we're not we're allowed to realize the wine that the chef de cave wants when we elaborate a vintage wine. So now we have Untitled Chardonnay wine, but through the vision of the cellar master. This is, he feels that he can express his liberty. So this is Blanc de Blanc as well, but very different from the previous wine. Also for its age, because it spent 12 years into our cellar. The nose is very different. Actually, it's very versatile. You have a lot of things like dried fruit, white fruit, white flour as well, and spices like curry. You have very nice aromas of plum, yellow plum, and peach.
Biscuit de Reims.
On the palate, you have a very nice buttery and brioche roundness, a little bit of structure, and you have a very nice end of the mouth. It's a long mouth, you can say, and not so straight. There is some, zigzagging. It's a zigzagging mouth. For our Ruinart Blanc de Blanc, we use only Chardonnay and only Chardonnay from Grand Cru. And we use 66% from the Côte des Blancs and 34% from the northern side of the Montagne de Reims. So let's go on with our wine tasting with now the non-vintage Ruinart Rose. So even if we love Chardonnay, we also elaborate rosé wine with, of course, a lot of Chardonnay in the blending. So you know that in Champagne we are allowed to elaborate rosé wine by blending. So this is the method that we use at Ruinart. So let's taste this wine. For our non-vintage rosé, we use mainly some Premier Cru, and we use 45% of Chardonnay, 55% of Pinot Noir, and 18% of Pinot Noir is vinified in red wine. Because we want to elaborate a very easy to drink rosé and very silky wine, we don't want to extract the structure of the Pinot Noir. So that's why for the red wine we do a very short maceration, only 5 days, with no work at all, no pigeage, no pump over, whatever. We just want to extract the color and the fruit. So that's why we have a very nice pink color. At the nose we have a lot of strawberry, cherry, raspberry, and a lot of French mint and eucalyptus and tuya wood as well. So this is a very fresh nose. And the palate is all about silk. We just have a little bit slice of bitterness, but it's very light. And everything is very, very silk. It's very easy to drink. And I can tell you that this wine is perfect with a strawberry soup with a little bit of balsamic vinegar. You can also serve this wine with a duck or a lamb. This is two perfect matches as well. So let's finish with the best of the best. We already tasted the Ruinart Blanc 98. Now let's try the rosé version. So this is the vintage 96. This is the best vintage from the decade in Champagne area. This is only Grand Cru. and we have in this wine 84% of Chardonnay, so this is almost a Blanc de Blanc Rosé. Let's try this wine. All the Pinot Noir in this wine is from the Narzocène of the Montagne de Reims, because this is there we can find the most elegant Pinot Noir. So for this wine, we wanted color, fruit, but also structure, because we need to age this wine. This wine remains 40 years into our cellar. So that's why we did a longer maceration than the non-vintage rosé, 12 days, with pigeage every day. This is the Burgundy winemaking, so that's why we use this beautiful glass with a Burgundy shape to express all the aromas, because we blended a red wine from Pinot Noir, like in Burgundy, and a white wine 100% Chardonnay, like in Burgundy. So that's why we use this glass as a tribute of our cuisine from Burgundy. So you have a very beautiful nose with a lot of different aromas. It's even a travel into Middle East. You have some wood, like once again tuya and teck. You have some beautiful fruit, dried fruit, but also white fruit, again pear. You have also red fruit, of course, a little bit of cherry, and a lot of spices like cardamom and saffron, curry. On the palate, you have a great blend between the roundness and the freshness, and it's dominated by a very nice smoky taste, like blonde tobacco, but also very delicate fruit and very delicate flowers. So it's everything in this wine, it's huge. And so this wine is a perfect match with duck as well, with fennel. And we can also have it with very exotic dishes, like, for example, Indian food or Asiatic food. Well, thank you for visiting Maison Ruinart. You're more than welcome if you want to come at Reims, and see you soon. Cheers.